We'll go find the chat, wait for some people to get in here. I just got home from work a little bit ago, and the wife's walking. She'll probably start walking a little bit earlier now. Normally it's later in the evening, so that's why I've been later in the evenings. But now that it's finally cooling off, actually fall, she's probably going to start walking earlier. It always takes a little while for the notification to come through for the chat. What's up, Damien? What's up, Ted? I just got home from work a little bit ago. I just saying, and the wife's going walking a little bit earlier now because it's not as hot. It's actually, 79 degrees in here, but it's really nice outside today. I got a few gifts in from people, and then I also got some free products. I think you can still get them, so I wanted to go ahead and I was just wanting to get on here and chat and just see if there was anybody out there. I was also wanting to just check in with all the, I'm gonna scoot up a little closer, all the Florida folks that typically are in here, and they might not have power, might not have internet, might not be able to be on here. I was gonna see if how everything panned out for everybody that was down there. My mom made it all right. I talked to her this morning. Because I know I know Lockhammer, I think Mac Bergson, a few of the others that live down in Florida. I was going to touch base with them. We're here, Leonard said. What's up, buddy? I messaged Coolin with Kraus. I don't know if y'all watch his channel any. He does tool reviews sometimes, but he mostly does HVAC work in his videos. But we've talked back and forth. We kind of started our channels at the same time. I checked on him this morning too. He said he was all right. Boynton Beach, Florida, we're fine. A lot of devastating tornadoes in the area yesterday. Yeah, I knew, Ted, you was down there too. I saw that you were already on here. That's why I didn't ask about you. But yeah, I think the tornado damage seemed like it was probably worse than again, I don't know. I haven't watched. I got up early this morning and got on my phone just to see if I could see anything. Because again, I was just mostly checking in the area where my mom was at because I didn't want to call her like crazy early if she was up all night. But I was worried thinking that she might not be all right. But I couldn't find any. I know that the Tampa Bay baseball stadium, I think, had some of the roof torn off it. But a lot of the stuff that I was seeing from like the major stuff seemed like it was more the tornado stuff than the actual hurricane stuff. But I don't know that. That's just me saying it. So I had got a few items in. I got a box full of some stuff here. And some of these might be things that you guys want to go out and get yourselves. If you've bought some, whether it's Malco tools or also one of them, you don't have to do anything. You just get on there and fill it out. And it's the Sashco. So I don't know if any of y'all use Lexel, Big Stretch, Through the Roof, those kinds of things. Palm Beach Gardens in Wellington got hit about 15 miles north of me, is what Ted said. Yeah, we had a tornado come through. I think it was right around, I don't think it was last year. It might have been 2 years ago now because most of the city that's been really badly damaged, it went right down the middle of our town, the town I work in. And I mean, just leveled everything. Everything had to be tore down to nothing. But that night that the tornadoes came, I'm a person who, like, if it's storming real bad and my gutters are clogged, I love for it to just be pouring rain, and I go outside and get up in my ladder while it's raining and pull a big thing of leaves out and let it just flush it all out. It works out that way for me. So I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because the tornadoes and stuff were supposed to be going on. It was right around Christmas time, and so I went out in the middle of the night and was cleaning my gutters during the middle. I mean, a tornado was like a half a mile down the road from me and just totally demolished all the houses a half a mile down the road from me. But it's what I was going to get to say with that is it's crazy a tornado, like how you can be so close to one and get no damage, and yet it's like a street over sometimes is just devastated. I remember I went to Alabama one year. They had a bunch of them. and I went down there with a group of people to kind of try to help clean up stuff and stuff like that. And it was probably the most damage I've ever seen. But it was crazy. Tornadoes can do some bad stuff. Somebody said something and I missed it. Let's see. Live off MM14 in Georgia, just north of Jacksonville. We had basically nothing from Milton, not enough wind to fly a kite, he said. Woodchuck said, what's up, Joey? Hey, what's up, Woodchuck? So one of the things that I got in, and this was K1W3, he actually emailed me and told me about this. Of course, I bought the Malco, let's see, I probably got it back here, let's see. Yeah, the Malco flip socket. What are you talking us into buying today? Nothing, I don't think. Well, I might actually, if you hang on, I'll be able to get you some free stuff, probably. Malco flip socket, you know, I got that a little while ago. Well, K1W3, he emailed me and said, hey, if you go and register that flip socket, but I don't think it has to be a flip socket. I think if you just register any tool with Malco, and I put a link in the description of this of the website you go to do it. If you bought anything Malco in the last little bit, but I honestly don't know. I didn't have to scan a receipt and send it in or anything. I think I just had to pick the store and tell them where I bought it. But they sent me, you basically get this tumbler for free. And I actually like it. It's pretty nice. So I got this Malco tumbler. It's kind of got like a speckled look to it. I don't know how well that shows up. I really like the size of it though, actually. It's not huge. It's probably bigger. Let's see. Monster can. So a little bit shorter, but it's also, I think, bigger around. So it would probably hold like a can drink or something like that. Again, I don't know how well the insulating factors or anything like that on it. It's got one of those lids where you can open and close it there. Stainless on the inside. Pretty nice for free. So I put a link in the description if you bought anything Malco in the last little bit. But again, I don't remember them really asking me anything about, you know, scan a receipt or all. I think I went in there and put, I bought the flip socket. That was the product I bought. I bought it off Amazon. And then they're like, okay, thanks for registering. And then I got this in the mail just today. So one of the free things I got, again, I put a link in the description to where K1W3 sent me to get this. He's the one that emailed me about it. So I appreciate him sending that to me. Another thing that's free, go ahead and throw this out. I put a link to this in the description also. So if I actually saw this on the Perkins Builder Brothers, I was watching one of their videos, and of course they use Lexel and Big Stretch and all that all the time, which I do too. It's my favorite. Big Stretch is by far my favorite caulk that I'm using at the moment, and that Lexel is some really good stuff. But I put a link in the description to where I went for this. If you are, I think it said a professional, but I don't know how much they really care. But basically, I filled out the information that was on there. It's just a matter of putting in your address and all that kind of stuff. And they sent me all these for free. So you got tube of Lexel. I mean, that's like 15 bucks. A tube of Mortar Flex for mortar and stucco repair. It's basically one of all their products for you to be able to try. Through the Roof, which is basically Lexel, but maybe a little bit more potent, I guess. I've actually got it. I've already used a lot of these before, so it's really good stuff too. So if you got a roof leak or if you got some flashing or something up there, you can put that on there. I'm not real sure what the difference is. I think that maybe the Through the Roof works better at like higher temperatures and stuff like that than Lexel or something like that. They're very similar, but a little bit different. And then of course some Big Stretch white. So that's like, you know, if you go to Lowe's, I think that's like $10, $11 a tube. So let's see. And then this thing right here is the Clean Seal. So it is a no mold, no mildew, no scrubbing needed. So it's basically something that you would use in a bathroom or something like that. And then I thought I had something else. I know there is. I don't know why it wasn't in this box. Oh, here it is. Yeah. And then they send you that tenable caulk kit so you can mix some paint, throw it in there, shake it up somehow or other. It's got just shaking it by hand. I think I've seen the Perkins people, they've done something with a Sawzall or something to make it shake. But I mean, all these things, I guarantee it's at least $100 or more worth of stuff that you just get for free. They sent it to my house. So, and I use them all the time. Like, I can't tell you how many tubes of Big Stretch and Lexel that I go through. So I put a link for that. Link is in the description of where I went to fill that out. So if you are interested in that, you can get that too. So Malco free item, Sashco free items. Let's see. Leonard said free sounds good. Ted McDonald, y'all see the Flex rolling stack pack is $59 if you're a member at Lowe's. He says Sashco doesn't care. I've gotten 4 of those caulk care packages. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's a lot of money if you really add that up. And I use them anyway, so I would have kept. I'm not buying them as a sample now. I was wanting to try. I haven't bought that color mixing stuff, so there'll be a job sometime where I'm going to need to mix something that's going to be weird, and maybe that's going to work out. So I am glad to get to try that at least. But as far as Lexel big stretch through the roof, I've already tried those. They're my favorite. I use them all the time. I haven't tried this one yet, so that'll be something I'll be trying out. And then also I haven't tried that out either. So they make really good stuff though. So those are free things that I got. Move that over here. One thing that I did was Jersey Discount Tool had a $10 envelope, and I can't even remember what it was for now. I can't think of what, if we had a holiday come up, or maybe it was just because we was going to fall. I can't remember what it was. We haven't had like because Labor Day, was there a Labor Day already? Or is that what's coming up here pretty soon? Or that's what it was. There was some holiday on a Monday. I don't remember whatever our last holiday was on a Monday. I'm not sure what it was. But they had some kind of envelope where you paid $10. You for sure got 2 free pairs of safety glasses. And then there's a chance for an envelope for TVs, all kinds of tools and stuff like that. And I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it here. We'll see if I want anything. But I'm also always curious if any of y'all did this. You know, somebody, usually every time I've done this, but I've done it in a video, I've got some responses back from people saying, yeah, I got that too, and then I won something or whatever. But let me find me a pair of scissors. And y'all hit up your Lowe's for your Kleins and stuff. I still keep getting comments about people saying they're not available. It's like I keep saying you have to go to the store 1,000 times, but I still keep getting them from people that are saying, well, they're not even selling them at Lowe's anymore. They're not selling them at Lowe's yet, unless they've already put them out. So here's one pair of safety glasses. There's another pair of yellow safety glasses. And then wah, wah, wah. You know, nothing else inside of there. So I didn't win anything on that. But I guess I got 2 pairs of safety glasses for $10 that I'll probably never wear. I'm really bad about safety glasses. Of course, I wear regular glasses, and I'm not going to buy prescription ones. But let's see what I do with my chat phone. Somebody just said something. Ted McDonald showing $99 here. Wings and Pizza said, what's it mean if are you talking about like a pro member, Ted? Where you're like see, I got to do something with my Lowe's. It's not working out right for me. Maybe I don't know if I need to talk to somebody or whatever. Because see, like Home Depot, I do the pro perks at Home Depot all the time. And I end up getting quite a few gift cards over the course of the year. Like I get 4 times the amount because I put it on my pro commercial card. But the Lowe's account, like none of my stuff, I've got it linked to my card and all that kind of stuff. I've got the Lowe's card, but I never get any points in it. So something's going, I don't get anything with that one. But I was just curious, Ted, are you talking about for a member at Lowe's? Or are you talking about the pro member? Yes, you got to be a Lowe's member. I hate Lowe's, he says. Yeah, I don't shop there enough. Like if it was a big deal, other than like if I go buy Klein tools, that's about it now at Lowe's. Materials and stuff like that, I pretty much go to Home Depot. Menards is actually a little bit better deal to go to Menards and get materials if you can now, which we just got one in my town because you get that 11% rebate. I mean, that's just more money going in your pocket. But Lowe's, that's why I haven't went to town, went like crazy asking them about where's my points and all that, because I probably ultimately wouldn't get that much anyways. Ted says he tries not to shop at Lowe's. Yeah, the only time I go to Lowe's is I've got time to kill between a job, or I get up really early in the morning sometimes and I can't start my job because I can't make noise somewhere. And So I'll go to Lowe's and check out that 75% off thing, and that's actually how I ended up finding all that Klein stuff. Was I was like, well, I'm gonna go see if they've got anything new out, and sure enough, they had all that stuff out. But that's really about the only time I go to Lowe's. And then my Home Depot is really close to Lowe's, so I go on over to Home Depot and see if they've got anything on clearance too. That's kind of my in between jobs or in between calls, or I get up really early sometimes and I can't work at certain places. Sometimes I get up really early and the place I'm working is a place where I've got the key to get in and I'm the only person in there. I can make as much noise as I want to and I just go ahead and start working. But a lot of times I can't start till, later in the morning. Let's see, another thing that I got, and I went and found links to these and put them in the description, but just so that y'all would know what I'm talking about in case I don't say something about it. Brian Hall, I'm pretty sure, is who sent me these. He said he had something coming to me in the mail. So I wanted to thank him for sending me these right here. These are some of those carabiners with all those bit holders. A lot of you probably got these hanging on your bag. So 2 silvers, 2 reds, 2 blues, 2 gold, I guess, orange, 2 black, 2 green, and then also 2 carabiners. Those are always super nice, just to have on your bag or something like that. Especially, I like to use them for like the little bit longer than 1-inch bits, like a 2-inch bit or something like that, because I don't like those in my railers as well, but they work better inside of these. So, wanted to tell Brian Hall I appreciate that. He'll probably watch this later. So got that. Also, I took it out of the bag. What did I do with it? Oh, yep, here. Steve's wood shop and tool reviews. We just had him in a guest to trade a little while back. And he's got a channel where he does reviews and stuff like that as well. He just kind of started his channel. He told me he got a bunch of these. I think he ended up saying he got 20 of them or something like that and was going to send me one. And I kind of misunderstood what he was telling me he was going to send me. I thought he said I've got a Weha magnetic driver. I got like 20 of them, so I was expecting, and I probably don't have it in here. I don't. It's in my truck. But I was expecting like a bit driver like this, like the lock and bit holder. I put one of those in my lock and bit holder video. That's what I was picturing whenever he was saying it to me in an email. But he wanted to send me one. It ends up being it's a magnetic 1/4-inch drive Weha screwdriver. So I appreciate him sending that to me as well. So thank you for that, Steve. Actually, I don't have a lot of. I can't even think if I've even got a. I don't know that I've ever bought a Weha handled screwdriver. So I'm actually glad to have this so that I kind of got a feel for it now to see if it's something I liked before. Because the one Weha screwdriver I've really looked into is the insulated torque screwdriver. I've been between that and the Wera. There's not a lot of options in the insulated versions of those. But I haven't tried out a Weha handle yet because I think the only Weha tools that I have are like the Pico Finish little thermostat type screwdrivers. I think that's about the only Weha tools that I purchased, other than I did get those at Lowe's and I still haven't opened them. They're over here. They had these on clearance for like $6 a piece, the self-adjusting and the regulars there. I haven't tried those out yet. I haven't even opened them. I hadn't had time to, so one of these days I'll try those out. But anyways, appreciate that, Steve. Thanks a lot for sending that to me. And then I'm mostly getting on here just to show you guys that people are sending me stuff, and yet none of you that are out there watching right now, I'm not getting anything in the mail from you guys. So what's up with that? Let's see. I'm just kidding about that too. Let's see. Add it to the cart, and then it's $59. Mush Rush said. Wings and pizza, I'll check and see. I'm still getting that price, he said. And then he said, yes, I forgot you had to add it to the cart. So that's what you got to do. Whoever said that. That's all the free stuff that I've got. Sashco, Malco, and the Jersey discount tool wasn't necessarily free. I was just seeing if I wanted something. I thought I'd go ahead and open it with you guys and see if I want anything. Pretty sure I wasn't going to. I did buy some of the Milwaukee thick kerf circular saw blades. I'm going to try them out too, see if I like those or not. You haven't asked till now, Leonard said. Well, I never ask anybody to send me anything. That's probably why I don't get a whole lot of the free stuff to make videos, because I'm sure a lot of people email companies and say, hey, if you'll send me that, I'll do a video or something like that. And that's not me. I'm not going to do that. So, but anybody out there tried these thick kerf blades yet? This is those new Milwaukee blades, a little bit thicker. Let's see. I think they're like actual 1/8 inch, whereas like a Diablo is, very thin. I bought these to try on my rear handle saw, because sometimes when you are ripping, I love Diablo blades, but if you got that real thin blade on, sometimes it is harder to keep a straight line. So I'm going to try this with that and see how well I like them. Plus, I thought they looked pretty nice. They're pretty sweet looking saw blades, really. Most of the time, I don't like Milwaukee saw blades. Like the ones that come on the tools, they're usually junk. I take them off as soon as I get them. I tried it whenever I first bought the Milwaukee saws. I used the blades that were on them. I'm just like, man, these saws either suck or, these blades do, one of the two. I don't know, but it ends up being the blades. They're not very good. So like if you buy, I probably have already even thrown them away. If you buy one and it just says, like it's a gray blade and it just says framing on it with Milwaukee, and you think your saw's not any good, it's not your saw, it's your saw blade. Those are garbage. Wings and pizza, I'm seeing $99 now. I hate those. Weehaw VD driver has a larger torque range than Wera, but it's a pain to adjust. Yeah, I noticed it's got like a little ball handled like black tool thing or something that you got to do with it. So I've been looking at it, but again, I can't see it in person, so all I can do is read. But there's just not a lot of options for them, man. I wish there was more insulated torque screwdriver options, but there's not. And I'm really surprised there's not, because technically in the last several years, we're supposed to be torquing a whole lot more stuff. Of course, nobody's doing it, but you're supposed to be. So you'd think companies would be on board with like even just torque screwdrivers. There's not a whole lot of them, but again, it's because nobody's really doing it. But you're supposed to be. Where is much more straightforward to adjust, as you don't need to take the screwdriver blade out. There's TPG. What's up, buddy? Early for a walk. 90 degrees here, and the sun is up there doing its thing. Yeah, it's finally starting to get kind of fall weather here, so it's going to be, it will probably be low 80s and 70s for a little while. Then it'll start getting cold, but not crazy cold. It doesn't. Sometimes we get below freezing here, and then every now and then we'll have some times where it actually gets down to the teens and single digits, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time we're in that 20s to 30 range during the winter time here, but our falls and springs are my favorite time of the year, and then summers aren't too bad here for me. My wife hates it, but it's not too bad for me. The thin curved Diablo blades heat up and flex a lot, especially on the DeWalt's Flex Folk table saw, going through oak. Yeah, the thin blades and stuff are nice and they cut good, but like you said, if there's a point where they stop, it's hard to keep a straight line on a long line. If you're just cutting, like I use them in my miter saws and stuff like that, and that's fine because you're just making a small cut. But it's whenever you're running them and getting them hot, ripping sheet goods and stuff like that. That's what I was wanting to try that the thicker kerf for. You were absolutely right about the 5 3/8 that came with Milwaukee. Yeah, that's been my number. Like the people who have commented on my Milwaukee 5 3, like the little M12 circular saws, and are like, I bought this saw and it won't cut anything. It's a piece of junk. I wouldn't buy it for nothing. And I asked them, I'm like, what blade do you have on it? And every time it's the one that came with it. And I'm like, you need to go buy a Diablo blade and put it on it and use it. And I guarantee you're going to like that saw, because it's night and day. The difference, that one that comes with it is pure garbage. Another thing that I did buy was this. I think I made a post about this because it was on sale. I haven't got it out yet either. So I got the Klein, that what is it, 450? Yeah, ET 450, the Tracer. I'm pretty excited about this one. Hadn't got it out, but that wasn't a free thing. I had to buy that, but I did get it on sale for like 100, whatever it was on the post that I made. I think it was $191 or something like that. So man, it was pretty hard for me to go buy all that Connect stuff after I already spent $200 on some Klein stuff. And then I went around. Then Lowe's just so happened to hammer me with, oh, here's a bunch more stuff of Klein you need to buy. And no, Klein is not a sponsor. I had to buy every single one of these things. This is all stuff that I'm going to do on Saturday. Of course, we're going to do the Roxy, or I keep calling it Roxy Vaughn, and for whatever reason, that's why my hashtag for the giveaway was Roxy Rovy Mama, because I thought it was Roxy the whole time. I kept mispronouncing. I had to film that video like 4 times because I kept saying Roxy instead of Rovy Vaughn. What's up, Ted? Appreciate that, buddy. You have a good day. I'm glad everything worked. Glad that you're safe and everything. I hope everybody else is. Like I said, I know several of you guys are from Florida, the ones who get on here and chat sometimes. Woodchuck says he's got that tracer, very sensitive. What did I do with the phone? The rest of it went off. I'm sitting on it. Very sensitive, even on the lower settings. Yeah, I mostly wanted one. I normally have always used my Fluke toner. Like, it's really for network cables and phones. That's the idea behind those. But, you know, the circuit breaker finder works fine for me if you've got power and you're wanting to turn something off. But then if you go somewhere where you don't have power and then you're trying to figure out why you don't have power, that tool doesn't do you any good. So normally I've always got out my Fluke toner and hooked it up to wires and then just, you know, tone stuff, kind of the same thing. But I was wanting, like, this is an all-in-one deal. You know, you've got power, you don't have power, doesn't matter. You can find all sorts of things, which I don't know, Woodchuck, if you watch Tool and Tactics video, that's what kind of made me decide to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. I was back and forth, but he was showing how if you hook up the ground into the ground instead of doing like a neutral and a, you know, hot, way better, way more accurate, you know, in those things. And he was showing examples of it. He was doing it during a live. It was pretty good. So the torque screwdrivers are typically found in industrial settings or supplied by industrial suppliers. Yeah, there's still not very many of them out there though that you can buy insulated. Like I said, there's several of them of different measurement values of non-insulated, which, I mean, most of the time you don't need an insulated. I don't know how many times you're going to be really needing an insulated one. I got my throats hung up. Give me a drink. For torquing stuff down, I mean, how often are you really working on something live that you need to torque? But it's just the idea of, if I could get one screwdriver that did all the values, because right now I've got a Wera one that goes up to, I can't even remember. I want to say 26, or it's in the 20s, which is plenty for receptacles and switches and small things. And then I've got a Capri one that goes up to maybe 50, and that will do breakers, most of the breakers and stuff, which is really what you primarily need them for. But I'd like to have a set that just did all of it, and then I just carried that one in my truck, and then might as well be insulated just in case, if I'm going to spend that kind of money. But I haven't been able to, other than the Wera and the Weehaw, I haven't really seen any other ones or any other brands out there. Let's see, TPG's laughing. Let's see, LOL, the Lowe's manager sees Morgan pulls up and pulls out the deals. Here comes that YouTuber money. Quick, break out the Klein tools, he said. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows I'm a YouTuber in my town. I see the Milwaukee guy in Home Depot all the time, and I don't even tell him. You know, I don't go up to him. I talk to him all the time, and he still doesn't know that I make YouTube videos. But that's, like I said, that's just how I am. Even, like I said, asking people to send me stuff. The only company that I ever emailed, and that was because Colin McCrouse, that I mentioned, that I messaged him to see, because he's in Florida, to see if he was okay. He actually was messaging back and forth with me, and he said, here's an email address for a lady at Knippix. They're sending me some stuff. If you email them, they'll send you some stuff. So I did it, and that was at the very beginning of my channel. And I was just blown away that they would even send me something. But that's the only time I can think of where I actually reached out to somebody. But that's really just because he had already had a contact with somebody. Woodchuck says, I mainly use it when I trip a breaker and can't find it. I want to try it in the ground to locate a wire. Yeah, he was showing the difference between hooking up to the ground, like he took out a pin and put it in the ground prong, or if you just attach to something that you know is a ground, and it was quite a bit difference between the accuracy that, you know, the numbers that you were getting, and that's also going to help you if you've got a break in the line better too. But like I said, he's got a video. You ought to go back and I can't remember if it was a live. I think it was a live. I'm pretty sure I was watching it live. So you should be able to find it though. It's tools and tactics. I don't know if you watch this stuff any. Steve Jensen, I only like Lowe's because of the Klein stuff. My Home Depot's always sold out of all the Milwaukee power tools I want, but the waiting game is fun sometimes. My Home Depot has, I have to order everything to ship it to the store. They have very little, even if they actually finally just started getting in like the miter saws and track saws, but they still don't carry, like they don't have the tracks. So if you went and bought the track saw, you have to order the tracks. They don't carry the tracks. They just now, like I said, just started carrying the miter saws, but both my miter saws, when I bought them, I had to order them. And they never have anything. Like you have to order it and ship it to the store. They don't have it in, even if they have one on display, odds are they don't have any in stock. Very little tools that they keep there. And then my Lowe's isn't good at all. Other than putting out new, this is the very first time ever that my Lowe's has done something great. Was putting all this stuff out early, and they probably, I'm sure, did it on accident. It wasn't purpose. Wasn't on purpose. What's up, Eddie? You have to self-promote, Wings and Pizza said. Yeah, it's just not my nature, I don't think. Husky makes one, and I have a Ting Industrial. Like a Husky makes a insulated one or a regular version. I haven't seen an insulated from Husky. That'd be interested to see. And a Ting Industrial. So I'm going to screenshot that, Edward. I'm going to look them up. I have been screenshotting all the questions, which I think I've been able to answer most of them just by using words. But I've been screenshotting all the questions on the Connect sets that I've been getting in the different videos. And one night or one day when we go live sometime, I'll bring up those questions and put them on the TV screen and kind of show y'all the answers for them in case you had any other questions. So if you've got a question on any of that Connect stuff, just go to one of those videos and put it, and then I'm putting a whole folder in my computer of those. I don't think I've got anything else new to show you guys. Like I said, I was just going to go over those free things and then show you some of the stuff I picked up. Woodchuck said, just subscribe to Tools and Tactics. Yeah, him and the Tools, and I can never remember if it's so Al's or so Laz. He does a lot of comparison videos of showing different impacts and stuff together. They do a lot of shorts. Both of them do a lot of shorts. They're always on lives together a lot of times. Like they do a split screen, which they say that if you do the lives in the horizontal mode, so like if I turn but you have to select that, like you can't swap back and forth. They say if you do that, I don't know if it's like a shorts live where they put you in a different room or something, or how it works. But they get a lot more views, they say, in that live format. But like if you're watching it on your TV screen, which is how I typically watch YouTube, it's always like just a little bit of amount in your screen, like you're watching a short. Matt's in here, I think. Aldi's has Aldis. I was reading Aldi's. I was like, that's a grocery store. Has VDE tools, wouldn't trust it. Or are you talking about Aldi's, the grocery store? I think that's the first time I've seen you without a hat. Yeah, I wear one all the time. I pretty much buzz my hair. I've got so many cowlicks. Like I've got cowlicks that, like, I'm not going bald. I've just got cowlicks that my hairline's been like this my whole life. I've got like 7 cowlicks, which that's what we call them. I don't know where you live, what you call cowlicks, but I've always had to just buzz my head. So, but I wear a hat all the time, so it doesn't matter to me. My Home Depot is huge, kind of like a hub. The trades hit it hard every day of the week, so we never get clearance stuff or early deals. Got to make the algorithm happy, LOL, he said. And Matt was talking about Aldi's, the grocery store. I missed something up here. Clinton said, "Hey there, Mr. Morgan. I'm lucky enough to have Burns Tools, which is like Toys R Us for contractors and woodworkers. Love them." Yeah, I can't think of any. I don't think I've got any store in my area that's kind of like a specialty type thing. Like I said, we just got a Menards, and literally my Home Depot, Menards, and Lowe's, which I like the fact that they're this way. I mean, you can see all three of them. Like if you stand outside, you can see all three of them. But that makes it nice for me because typically if I've got time between jobs or I wake up early, I just go hit all three of them real fast before I go and look at clearance stuff or do whatever and see if there's any deals. But it's still pretty. My Home Depot's clearance is never Milwaukee. I don't think I've hardly ever seen Milwaukee stuff. They do have DeWalt pretty often, and then it's mostly always materials and stuff, which I buy because then I've got all kinds of stuff where I buy it, and then I'm also usually curious to see if it's going to ring up for a penny. So like if they put electric boxes or something back there, I'll at least, if I'm already buying something else anyways, I'll go up there and scan it and I'll buy a couple of them and then see if they ring up for a penny. And if they do, I'll go back and buy a bunch more. Abraham says they call them cowlicks too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there is another. I'm sure there's another term somewhere else where somebody lives. I don't know what they call it everywhere. But I've got a bunch of them. I'm happy not to be losing my hair at 64. Yeah, I'm not losing any that I know of. If I am, I can't see it. Like I said, you might would think I was based on that, but that's just the way my hairline's been that way my whole life. But if I grow out my hair longer, all this covers all that. Get the comb over effect, I guess. But I've always liked wearing a hat anyways, so I'm just a big hat person. Let me see. I don't have anything else. I think I mentioned those before. It's a torch. I think I had that already. I've had these up here for a while. And then the cooling towels, those were on sale at Home Depot and Lowe's both for like nothing. Of course, it's because summer's about to be over, in my area. About to cool off. Did work on some, I was changing out some receptacles and switches at a house the other day. Of course, one of them was just tore all to pieces. But man, this switch right here, I don't know how old this dude is. Which all the stuff, I think the house was like a 50s house or something like that, so that's probably about how old these are. But the switches were, let's see, that one's made in the USA. No click F. See if I can get that in the, I don't think y'all will be able to read that probably. Let's see. I can't get it to, I can't mess with the zoom on this side, but no click F. Made in the USA, old switch. But this one right here is they were both in the same box, which I thought was weird as well, that there were two different ones, but really old. But this one had like the screws out here on the face of it, which was nice because I could just stick my meter straight back in there. But that's all that one is. That one's a little bit weird looking. This one's a Paulding switch. But it looks super old. It's actually even to where you can take the screws out of here and remove the face off of it and get on the internal. So let's see. Moo, I have cowlicks too. Us Michiganders call it that. You have us and we have you. We do too, and I'm from the People's Republic of Maryland. Thankfully, I escaped to Tennessee in 2002. Wings and Pizza, how's the trailer work going? I've got it. I pretty much finished that up as far as you talking about my, whatever it's called, E-Track or whatever stuff. I didn't put any more in it after that video, but that's how that's working out. It's working out pretty good for me. The recruiting office that I'm working on, I'm waiting on painters to get done. We went and put the drop ceiling in. I'm working on that with my buddy. We went and put the drop ceilings and stuff in. They did like the first coat and all that. And then we went and put the grid in. And then we got to go back and put in doors and ceiling tile. But that's just phase one of that. That one's going to be probably going on at least the rest of the year, I would think. So once we get done with that section, they're going to move stuff out of one section into that section. Then we're going to work on the other section. I think we're going to be moving around like 3 times doing that. So I'm working on that. Then I'm also at the place, the campus that I used to work. I'm working on some stuff there for them. It's a kitchen and 2 offices. They started it with some volunteers, and then they didn't get done, so I'm coming in to finish it. And it's drywall, doors, cabinets, floors, drop ceiling, that kind of stuff. The project thing that I made some videos for, they did find somebody to do drywall and painting and even put in the doors. So they're working on that. He told me they'd probably be done drywalling and finishing the drywall and painting by the end of this next week coming up. And then I'm going to go put the floor and stuff in there, I think. And then I got to put the lights and stuff in. So hopefully I'll be up there. It won't be this week coming up, but the next week after that. And I'll get to maybe go around and see what they've done. I haven't been there since I left there because it's not really, it's the total opposite way of how I normally go. So I have to go completely out of my way even just to go look at it if that's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go there and do that. Hopefully I'll be able to film. Might even be able to film putting in some floor or something like that. We'll see. But I will at least be able to go check it out and see what they got done. Other than that, it's just been some small stuff in between there. Went to a place today that was closing and took down their sign on the front of their building and did that today, and then went and installed some doors. Live Life 360 experience. Is that an old single pole? Yes, it was a single pole switch. Both of these were actually. I thought one of them was going to be a 3-way, and like I said, it was kind of weird to me that these were both in the same box, working 2 different things. So it's kind of weird that you got 2 total. You'd think that if they were both old, they'd been the same. So they must have had to change one out pretty early on and then go to the other one. I don't know which one of the 2 is the older of the 2, but my guess is going to be this one. But I don't see a date on this one or this one. This one's a Paulding, and this one is a No Click KLIC or KLIK. That one does say made in the USA on it. This one doesn't say. But yeah, pretty old ones. I said the screws are even out here in the front. But that one looks more like, let's see. This one says made in the USA. And this one looks more like it was probably, well, I don't know. I was going to say it might have been, I don't see a name on that one though. Older dudes though. No, this one's a Leviton. So that's a older one probably though. Of course, it's been painted and everything else, but it's definitely an older one. But the whole face just fell off on him. That's what they actually called me out there for, was to replace this. And then he said he kept on. He said as he was using these switches, it seemed like it was loose connections or something like that. But he wanted me to just go ahead and change them. So I was like, they might just need to be tightened up, but he wanted to go ahead and change them. But yeah, they are pretty old. TPG said, reminds me of some of the switches in my ancestral cave, my parents' house. Yeah, I think that house was probably, if I had to guess, I'd say 50s, but I don't know for sure. But just by the sense of what I had looking around it, I'd say that's probably what it was. Yeah, some are backlight, not plastic, like the 1900s console radio. Maybe they will let you do a final walkthrough video for us. Oh yeah, I'll for sure be able to. It's the people who I'm doing the work for, I know really, really well, so they'll let me go in anytime I want to. But like I said, I told him I would do he messaged me and asked me, he said, I did find somebody to do the drywall and the painting, and I was going to go back and do the doors, but he said, if you can go ahead and order the doors, I've got this guy says he can put them in too. I was like, well, that's fine by me because I'm still pretty busy. So I ordered the doors for him and had them delivered, but that guy's supposed to put them in. And then he said, but can you come do the floor, which they're only doing, it's going to be LVT, floating LVT, and they're doing it only in the hallway and bathrooms. I think they're going to do carpet and the rest of it in the office spaces and the lobbies and stuff like that. But he wanted to go ahead and put LVT in the higher traffic areas, but they wanted carpet really for the sound. So it's not going to be a lot of flooring, but it's basically the worst places. You know, if you install flooring, hallways and, little bathrooms and stuff like that. It's like there's no the flooring where you make your money is when you hit them wide open spaces and you can just go to town. It's just like moving fast. The hallways got all the doorways in them and all that kind of stuff. So square footage wise, that's one of those where I tell people all the time, they're like, well, how much you charge per square foot to lay X whatever floor? You know, I'm like, I don't know. I gotta know what kind of square footage am I looking at? Is it hallway square footage or is it, you know, living room square footage? Because that's two different animals right there. So if you price 100% square footage and you're not doing like a whole house or something like that, you know, that's how you end up losing your hind end on that, because that's just what happens. Vegans cookie good, multi-tool. Really old ones are the dark black brown plastic. Newer ones went white to save money. There's Mac. He's in here now. No issues here with Milton. Thanks for all the prayers. So good to hear that, buddy. There's Steve, Woodshop and Tool Reviews. Glad you like the driver. Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate you sending it to me. Whenever you sent me that email, I was picturing, and it's probably me, just my brain, the way I read it. I was picturing like the locking bit holder magnetic driver that I've got one of them because I've got it specifically to do that video of the best locking bit holder. But that's what I was picturing in my mind, especially when you said you had so many of them. I was like, well, he probably just got a whole big old box of them. I wasn't expecting it to be that, but I really like that. That's going to be more useful to me, as I actually don't really like the Weha bit holder as much because it's not as magnetic as the DeWalt ones. I like the size of it. I love everything about it that way. But the magnet, not having that magnet ability on it, really is a downer for me. Make sure they get a good 9mm to 20mm wear. Yeah, I tell everybody all the time, you know, wear layer is the biggest thing, because well, what do you recommend? I was like, you got to get at least this, you know. That's the difference between some cheap stuff and the stuff that you're buying. You don't want to buy the cheapest thing that they got because somebody scratches it. It's like it's got zero. It's going to be like white showing or whatever it is. I prefer laying glue down LVT over the floating floors, like if that's my options. But you have to have a really good subfloor or slab or something like that for you to really be able to do it and not spend so much work on the prep. Like, to me, a remodel situation, you can't hardly do glue down unless it's a slab and you can go in there and grind it to get any kind of little imperfections out. But wood subfloor, it's really hard to do a glue down and not have to spend a lot of time. But the nice thing about glue down floor for the person who you're installing it for is if there's some piece out in the middle that gets torn up real bad, like a big scratch or somebody burns something on it or who knows, whatever happens, you can go and easily get that piece out and just stick another one in. You can do that with the floating floor, but it takes a lot of effort and you can't really put one in right. You know, you can't put it in the way that it's supposed to be, but you can get one put in there without taking up the rest of it. But typically you got to go over to at least one wall, take off the base bar and start pulling floor all the way to there. And then sometimes people don't like transitions, and you know, for warranty purposes you got to put them in every so often anyway. So I don't care if people don't want transitions, I will not put them in. You know, if people specifically say I don't want a transition in these doors, because I personally don't like them either. I don't put them in my own house. If I'm running floor, I'm running it everywhere, and I'll deal with the problem if it comes up later. But I always tell everybody up front, I'm willing to not do transitions, but just so you know, if you have an issue with buckling or whatever, it's not going to end up being covered. If you have a problem with your floor, they're going to say you're supposed to have transitions in here. Weha bit holder hater. I still use Weha over DeWalt. Yeah, I can't, but it's because I'm so used to, I use the DeWalts more because I've only got the one Weha, and the DeWalts have good magnetism. So I'm just so used to sticking a screw on there and holding it. So whenever I go to the Weha, when I throw screws on, like I'm using a DeWalt and they fall on the floor, if I know it, you know, I just tilt my screwdriver a little bit, but I don't pay enough attention. So I can't get past the no magnet on it. It drives me crazy. FRP Advanced Polymer is the glue we use to do flooring and subfloor without fasteners. Expensive, but never fails and moves a little. A pencil. What are you looking at, vegan? You're looking at something, zooming in and out somewhere, looking at something, trying to figure out something. $200 for 3 gallons. Yeah, that glue stuff gets expensive. You start even just the glue for the glue down flooring or carpet tiles or FRP adhesive for the walls and stuff like that. Yeah, adhesive gets expensive. A lot of people don't even take that in consideration too when they go pick out their floor. They think, well, I'm only going to spend $4 a square foot. It's like, yeah, but if you've got a lot of square footage, it might be another $300 in, you know, adhesive for you to be able to put this down. But I still think in a commercial setting, it's a lot better bang for your buck to spend the money if you have to, even to have somebody prep your floor and stuff to go glue down, just because of, you know, you're going to have some people do some stuff to your floor that's so much easier to change it out. Gusty Oinker said he bought some Morgans, made me do it at Lowe's today. So which one, what were you able to get of the Klein stuff? Because I keep getting a lot of comments on there that Lowe's isn't selling these and this and that. And it's like, I've got everything I've done, I haven't been able to put the footage in there because the one of them I did a live, but I've got a little clip of me getting them because if I thought, well, if I make a video, I'll put that in there. But, you know, if you do lives like this, you can't do it. But they're all out there at my Lowe's. And matter of fact, there's still some there today. You know, nobody's bought them yet because there's not a lot of people. I don't think there's a lot of people that buy tools in my area like it. Like, I don't think there's that many people that go and just buy tools like me. You know, there's just not that many people that do it. So there's nobody out looking for, like, I go to stores specifically and look for new tools. Like, I go through all the tool sections looking for either clearance or new tools, see if there's something new that out yet. I think most people in my area are only buying tools like when they have to. Like, oh, I got to go get this tool, or one broke, you know, like a normal person, I guess. That glue will work with no air dry, non-porous to non-porous, even ceramic tile to ceramic tile. Steve said, I just put down 20 mil wear level. The main thing for me was the texture is a lot deeper versus the 6 mil, and that looks like contact paper. I always tell people 20. I was like, 20 is your number you need to shoot for. That's going to get you, it's going to be more expensive. I said, but you got to get somewhere close to that, you know, or you're not going to end up being happy with it. Unless, you know, of course, there's some people who aren't planning on, they don't care. They just want something cheap thrown in there and all that kind of stuff. But if it's a rental space and they're paying for the floor, but it's, you know, not really their space, because a lot of times commercial is just like residential in that way, in that if the person who owns the building is putting it in for the person and paying for it, then typically they're like, well, just whatever's the cheapest stuff. But if it's somebody else's property, you know, they want the better stuff. It's just like a rental house, but commercial is the same exact way. It's no different. Gusty Oinker said he got the 16-in-1 and the starter set. So Mike said, when Joey did a short on the new Klein Connect starter set, I said, oh, I don't need that. And then he did a video on how they interconnect, and now I got to get it. Klein should be giving you an ownership stake. Yeah, I just like it if they gave me a job in research and development. That's what I said. You know, just hire me to try out tools and tell you this is what you should be doing with this one. People that buy tools like that jam all their tools in a big open duffel bag. Frustrations for life. Yeah, a lot of people, and again, I'm not saying that I'm right, they're wrong. It's whatever works for whoever. But yeah, there's typically, you see pictures like that on the internet of that there's two types of contractors, and it shows a van like that's all shelved out, everything's in its space, labeled and all that stuff. Then you got this other van beside of it that's just got stuff just thrown in it, and the guy's digging through there throwing stuff out. And that's really true, like, because in all honesty, it usually is one or the other. There's not a whole lot of in between. Either somebody is just crazy about their organization or somebody could care less, and there's usually not an in between. It's always one extreme or the other for the most part. And there's a lot of people that are like that. There's like, I need a pair of pliers. I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I'm gonna look and see what's the cheapest pair that I can get, and I'm gonna throw it in my bag, and then it's gonna work. And I mean, you can still get the job done with it. It's just that ruins the enjoyment factor for me. I charge 2 times the price to install the 99 cents a square foot HD flooring to discourage people from buying it. Yeah, I do. Again, that's the questions I ask. Somebody says, well, how much a square foot do you charge? I get that all the time for flooring. And typically I don't even charge. Now, I might have a square footage number that I use for my own self I do this on anything, not just flooring. So like if I'm estimating and somebody wants me to do flooring and they've got 1,000 square foot, and let's say I'm doing 5,000, or I do $5 a foot or whatever, I'll tell them, it's $5,000. I might do my estimates that way because I know if I typically do it at $5 a foot, I end up making money because I've done X amount of jobs at $5 a foot. I made decent money on it, whatever. But again, it's still, you can't just 100% go by that, because if I'm doing 1,000 square foot of open space, or am I doing 1,000 square foot of, going around 17 doors, cutting out for a bunch of other stuff? Is it really cheap flooring that I'm going to have to spend a lot more time messing with? Or, the kind where they break and chip like crazy and you're going to have to sit there and look and inspect every single piece like crazy 100% before you put it in, and all that goes into it. So maybe that changes to $7 a foot instead of 5 or 8 or whatever. So I use square footage as a estimate number for myself, but then I always still think about it before I send an estimate. So what I would normally do is say, okay, this floor is $5,000. I want to make $50 an hour, however many hours that gives me. What is that, 100 hours, I guess? So can I get this job done in 100 hours? That's the question I ask myself at that point. And then if I think I can, then I'm like, well, I'm good. Or I look at it and say, I don't know, I think it might take me 120 hours to do this. I'm going to go ahead and up my price. I just kind of use square footage as a estimating tool, never a price that I give somebody. TPG said, I quit messing around with cheap tool bags because of that frustration. Yeah, once you buy a nice bag, like I said, I'm so glad that I bought a Veto bag, because it has been probably the biggest enjoyment factor change in the last several years that I've had is the Veto bags. And yes, they're crazy expensive, but there's just something about them that, I just absolutely love them. And I would have never bought the first one that I bought, because whenever I went and looked at it and I saw how much it was, and I was so used to buying, the ones that they had at Home Depot or the ones they had at Lowe's, and I was using them. And again, they work fine. You can put your tools in them. You can carry them around. But after I used my first Veto bag for like a month, I was just like, this is a night and day difference of, again, the enjoyment factor. I like the way it looks. I love the way my tools come in and out of it. It's keeping me better organized because I like using it, and I put stuff back because it's, once you got a crappy bag and you start getting mad at it, you just start throwing your tools in there like what we're talking about. You don't quite use it the way, because it doesn't work well anyway. So you're just like, what's it matter? But it's just nice. Everything's got its place. Again, I can't. It's one of them things where I tell people all the time, is like, you just gotta buy one and try it, and you'll see. I can't explain to you what it is about it. It's just better. Have you seen the new Klein Power Strip at House of Tools? I think actually I either saw it on there, or I think I might have saw it at Lowe's. I'm not sure. I saw a Klein Power Strip somewhere, but I look at so many tools online and stuff, but I want to say I saw it in a store somewhere. I know what you're talking about. And it might even, I can't think of it. It might have been Home Depot, actually, because my Home Depot still has some Klein stuff. And I've been in there a lot more than I've been in Lowe's, but it could have been at Lowe's. It might have been in the electrical tool aisle. I don't go in that aisle very much for Klein tools at my local Lowe's, because it's typically all stuff I'm never going to buy. It's just like meters and stuff like that. Most of the tools that I end up buying are over in the tool section. But I think I did see that somewhere, but it might have been online. I've been looking at House of Tools, because I actually went to House of Tools to see if they had these sets out and available, because here lately, House of Tools and Lowe's have been the early two for whatever reason. And then after a couple of weeks, they'll start being on the Amazon Klein store. But that's just how it's been, which Acme Tools and all that stuff has them too. But I never buy stuff from them just because of the shipping. You have to spend like $200 or whatever it is to be able to get free shipping. Gusty said he can't find the all black drivers in my area. I've never seen them in person either, Gusty. And my Home Depot has the orange and black, and my Lowe's has the orange and black. So I don't know what it is about regions or something. I don't know. I've seen them. Like, I've seen pictures of them. I know Matt, I think, has all black, he said, but I haven't seen them in person. Are you talking about like on the, which one of them is I think the all black is a 15-in-1, and then the black and orange is the 13-in-1 that I've got a review for. Actually, I think I've got that screwdriver. If this is what you're talking about, I think I've got it in this drawer over here. Because I don't really use it that much. This screwdriver right here, I think this is the one y'all are talking about. This one is a 13-in-1 ratcheting, and it's got the, I like this one because the only thing I like about this one is the handle's real skinny. I do like that on this one, but all my bits are orange and black, but they have a set that's got black, just 100% black, like everything about it's black. But I think it's also a 15-in-1 too, and not a 13-in-1. But I haven't personally seen it anywhere. But I know it does exist. I've seen it like on videos and stuff. I've just not seen it in person. People don't understand we have to tape down underlayment and not rip it. You didn't save any money. If it doesn't have built-in underlayment, it's almost a no thanks. Yeah, it is a big difference to have the padding already on the back of it. The only thing that I get into with some, like, there's certain floors that once you hit a certain thickness, a lot hard. Like, if I can get a floor that is a good wear layer, has the padding on the back, but I also hate them when they're super thin because they're so hard to mess with, like without chipping them and doing all that kind of stuff. But there's also a certain thickness that once you get to that they're a lot harder to score with your knife and just snap, because then if you start having to use saws and stuff like that, it's a big difference in time of, especially, well, it just depends. If you're in an open space and like if I was working at that project place where they're actually not there and I don't have to worry about, I can clean up after myself when I'm done and all that, versus if I've got to walk outside and make every cut because they don't want me cutting inside around people working or whatever it is. That's a big difference of, again, that's part of the conversation to have with square footage price is what kind of floor is it? Because am I going to have to bring saws? I'm going to have to do all that stuff. Am I going to have to walk up and down stairs with every piece that I've got to cut? Or am I going to be able to take my utility knife in a square, score it, snap it, and slap it in? Big difference. Do you find your local HD is carrying more and more Makita stuff? Mine's not. Mine has none, I don't think. I meant to look, because we talked about this a while back in some other live, and I got to thinking, I was like, I haven't seen any Makita stuff at my Home Depot for a while, because they used to have it, but I think they actually got, I think they got rid of all of it at mine. I don't think they even carry it anymore. I have seen some stuff back there on the clearance, like flashlights and stuff like that, but it might be just whatever's left that they found, you know, hidden back behind a shelf or something whenever they was cleaning something else out. But I don't even think they've got a Makita section at my Home Depot anymore. The 15-in-1 double-ended bits is 15-in-1 double-ended bits one. Yeah, that's what that one has too, but it's got the orange and stuff. Veto bags are the cream of the crop. Your videos help me settle on the MB5B, and I'm very happy with it. They go through a lot with me, and they look better than I do after. Yeah, that's what I told people about the warranty thing. Like, if I always tell people you should buy it from Veto because of the warranty, because you might as well get the better warranty. Now, you can buy it on other websites. Like, I think there's like there's something where I get emails from. It's like True Tech Supply or something like that. I don't know. They sell them, and if you get it through them, you get your warranty. And then there's certain sellers on Amazon even where you can get it. But I always tell people, you know, if you go to Amazon and buy it, you might not be a seller that's covered under that warranty. But I don't know that I'd ever have to. Me personally, I don't think I'd ever end up using a Veto warranty. But I don't work in really bad job site conditions and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how, like, certain people that might come to play with it, but I can't imagine I would ever even use a Veto warranty unless a zipper fails or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't even know that I could wear one of my bags out, because I've used some of them for a couple of years now, and they still look just like they did the day I bought them. I got the Pack Out 15 structured tool bag and love it. Ridiculous price, but I couldn't work with a crappy bag anymore. Yeah, the Guess the Trade this week on Saturday, that's the bag that he's got as well. And I like the idea of it because because I'm in Pack Out. I've got Pack Out organizers and I use Pack Out organizers. Like I carry in a Pack Out organizer with my impact bits in it. I carry in one with wire nuts, all those kinds of things. And I would like, and I'm probably going to try it maybe on my Veto bags. And I don't like doing stuff if I've got a warranty on something. So like I'm not going to put feet on the bottom of my Veto bag if it's under warranty. I'm just that way, even though again I don't think I'm ever going to use the warranty. I was that way with my deck drawers. I specifically haven't tried anything because I wanted to see if there was a way that I could take my deck drawers and get them to come out farther, but there's really not. The way they're made, you can't do it. I don't know about the new sets, but so I haven't done it, but I might look into figuring out a way to where I can snap organizers in the bottom of like my Tech MCT or something like that. Gusty said he's got both. The all black is the 15-in-1 and a bigger handle. Yeah, I was thinking I heard somebody a video I was watching the other day, or we were talking about it maybe in this one in a live or something. I don't even remember what it was, but somebody was talking about how I think somebody made a comment that the black one they liked it, but the handle was bigger was what made them like they liked the handle better on the orange one, but they liked the black bits and all that stuff. Now that Milwaukee basically copied Veto specs with the new Pack Out totes and bags, they do look pretty good, unlike their old ones. Matt said, I used to use a shear to cut the flooring. It will do hardy plank too. Yeah, I've got a lot of, I'll carry my jigsaw, basically everything I put in that one bag. Like I'll take the jigsaw in with me and then an oscillating tool. But a lot of times you're right. You can take a really good pair of snips and stuff and just sit there and cut out the small pieces. The only time I kind of get out jigsaws and stuff like that is for like cutting out circles for toilets or whatever it might be, because sometimes it's hard to score that and get it to snap out without really bending and twisting and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, if I can get a floor that I can 100% use my utility knife to install, I don't charge as much because it's nice. And for the most part, most of the LVT you can typically do that with. Some of them, once they get a certain thickness, they're a little bit hard to snap. And not so much the short end off, like to cut it to length for the room, but it's whenever you start cutting that last row, or you know you're having to cut out long notches of boards and stuff like that. Tough to tell the amount of Makita because it's all behind the cage. Yeah, I'm almost positive. I'm gonna check tomorrow if I go to Home Depot. I don't even think there is a Makita section in my Home Depot now, because I'm sitting there picturing it, and I know we've got Milwaukee. There's not as much DeWalt as what there used to be. They're pretty much mostly Milwaukee, rigid, Ryobi at my Home Depot. There is some DeWalt, but it's not near as much as what it used to be. And I don't think there's any Makita anymore. Matt said that Platt Electric has the all black one and they will ship it to you. So if you've been looking for the all black one, Platt Electric has that. What's up, Shane C? Is it Shane? I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, is it Shane Si or like Uncle Si or Shane C? So put a C or put Si just so I know, because I keep probably saying it wrong. Bam's Life, I want a Pack Out crate to put my Veto bags in to carry into a job. Yeah, I do that for, I don't carry, which typically I don't even take my bag period into a crawl space or an attic. If I don't like to, I like to just I might take my MP pouch or something like that, but even I don't even like to do that because of if you drop stuff in insulation or do whatever, it's gone. But I bought an ammo, I keep an ammo crate, like an ammo Pack Out box, that if I am going to take a tool bag and a light or something like that, and maybe like that way I can also snap in my wire nut organizer or something like that if I'm going up there to do electric. And I carry my bags and everything inside of that, and then that way whenever I get somewhere, I can open that lid and get my stuff in and out of there, and then shut the lid whenever I'm leaving. It just keeps me from dropping stuff out of the sides of it or whatever. But the pack out crate would work just as well too. I mean, typically I never dump it out or anything, so. Flooring shear, big blade one, not scissors. Yeah, I've got man, what was that, Roberts or something like that? I think that's what it was. I had one of those at the place where I worked before I went out on my own, but we bought it back whenever there wasn't really a LVT. It was all the click floor, but it was all that pressed wood. You know, back whenever that's all that there was before they started coming out with the vinyl plank. Had those. And then it was really nice because you had to cut that with a saw, and it just killed your saw blade. So whatever saw you used, the blade was gone, but it was nice to be able to have that. So that is a good, like if you're going to do very much of it, that's a nice tool to buy, especially if you're going to do very much of it that you can't score with your knife. It's definitely worth having one of those. I've actually got several of those that I've been watching in my Amazon list, so let me know what the brand is that you got, if it works pretty good, and if you're using pretty thick floor. I'm interested in that, Matt, so let me know what you're using. It's actually SI, separate letters, just like the Honda Civic. So Shane SI then. Matt makes all the messes. We use I almost called it Marshmallow Town. I swear I read that Marshmallow Town every time. Marshalltown, made in the USA. It's only $200 at Lowe's. You can just say Shane, he said, LOL. So that's even better. I like that better, Shane. Yeah, I got a flooring cutter in from, let's see, you're talking about, I'll go get it. This kind right here. Oh, let's see. You're talking about like this kind right here. This one got off Amazon. They sent it to me, but it was messed up out of the box, like the handle and all that stuff. So I told him I wasn't gonna make a video for it, but because I don't think it was a them problem, it was a shipping problem type thing. So I didn't want to get on and make a bad video about them and then it not really be their fault, because I don't think it was. But it also doesn't cut, but I don't know how much of it is because the handle's bad on it, but it doesn't cut. Like, only thing you could use this for is, and I don't have any pieces in here, it works good for glue down LVT, like 1/8 inch stuff. That's about it. Like, I wouldn't be able to cut any of the stuff with padding on it or anything like that. So I kept it. That's the only reason why I haven't really thrown it away. It's really not that useful, but every now and then on the glue down LVT, I'll have a doorway that I go to that it's going to terminate, and I'm going to end up putting like a glue down transition up against the edge of the floor, and I got to have a really straight line. So that's all I've ever even used this for, is just that. But it's not, I want to get a good one of those that will cut like pretty decent thickness stuff. That one, there's no way, that one. But again, I don't know how much of it's the handle's bad. I can't get any good pressure on it. But it definitely wouldn't cut anything like what we're talking about. We bought and returned even the Roberts junk. We cut 2mm wear layer, 20mm wear layer stuff. Got to buy the 4-leg one, not the 3. They are made a lot better. Plus, I can do both sides. I'm gonna look into that because I need a good one of those. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see what floor they buy up here, because they're buying it. They're gonna get. I told them that they needed to get the floor and have it there this week so it can be acclimating and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna know what floor it is till I get there. So, but I may end up going to Lowe's and see if they've got it. I had a Roberts. I think it was a Roberts one, but it was pretty expensive. I bought it from an actual flooring place, though. It might not have been as bad somewhere else, but it would cut. I think even it said hardy board, but at the time I wanted the 13-inch one because I never really did big stuff, and they were sold out of those, but they told me they'd give me the 24-inch one for the same price. So I was like, well, I'll go ahead and take it, because then you can cut carpet tile and stuff like that if you want to. But it was almost too big, like, because I never use 2-foot stuff, and it made it heavy and it made it big and all that kind of stuff. So 36-inch Lowe sells a 24-inch wide when they have both. 36-inch. So on that one, can you only cut the straight? Because I've seen some of these on Amazon too, where you can put the stuff in horizontal and kind of rip it, you know, too, as far as that way. So I'm just curious if the ones you've got allow you to do that or not. I don't know how well that works on the ones that say they do it. I've never seen one that does it. I've only ever had the ones where you just, it's basically like the shear, you stick it in there and cut stuff to length. So you say my 36-inch one can rip. So that would be, if it does that, it'd be worth buying a bigger one, because there's some of that stuff that gets hard to, it's hard to do it. You know, and then that would save you the table saw or whatever. Like I said, most of the time I can do it with a knife, just score it and snap it. Almost probably 80% of the stuff I lay, but every now and then I get into some stuff that you just can't hardly do that with. I can't think of anything else that I was going to, like I said, I was going to go over that free stuff, show you some of the stuff I got, because I don't really have anything that would be worth having a tool haul video for. It's all just small, really not anything spectacular type thing. I am really looking forward to playing around with this thing and seeing what I think about it, but I got to find the time to be able to do it. And I don't have, like, or I was waiting to see if I had a job come up where I know I'm going to need this. I'm going to get out and try it there. But until then, I'm just going to wait until I can have some time to get it out and mess with it. But I'm glad I got that. Matt's actually the one that told me it was on sale on Amazon. It pretty much went off sale like right after I bought it too. I got it for $191, and I looked a little bit later and it was back up at regular price, like $235 or something like that. I had it in my wish list for a really long time. But whenever you messaged me, I was in Boston, and so I hadn't been looking at. We kind of went on a small vacation type thing, and so I wasn't looking at deals as much as what I normally do. I wasn't checking my Amazon list. Like a lot of times, if I wake up early in the morning, I've got a whole wish list of Amazon tools, and I just scroll down through there and see if they put any of them on sale. But I hadn't been checking because I was out of town. But when Matt emailed me, I went ahead and got on there and bought that. I was actually waiting in line to get on a subway whenever Matt sent me that. So I'm going to do a giveaway on Saturday at 11 my time. So that's Central Time. And then I'm doing that so I can be done before the guest of trade, because I'll probably stand there and chat for a little while. But I think I might be giving away some other stuff too. So even if you don't win the Roxy Vaughn, maybe you might win something. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that in my head. But it's just going to be for people who are at the live. Like, I'm not going to be pulling comments from other videos or something like that. So somebody will win the Roxy Vaughn. I still calling it that. The Rovi Vaughn, based on the hashtag in the comment from that video. I'll be doing the drawing just like we normally do, and then I'm going to do some other stuff. I think my wife's going to come out with me and help me, because we're going to have to be scrolling down the chat to do what I'm planning on doing. And then there was something else I was going to, let's see. So I got that. I don't remember what else I was going to say about that. And then, oh, I know what else it was. I've also ordered stickers. A lot of y'all been asking about stickers. So I ordered some off Amazon. I found some place where I can put my logo in it, and they're supposed to send me, and they're supposed to be pretty decent ones. I think I got 3-inch circles, I think, if I remember right, because they had like 2, 3, and 4, maybe even bigger than that. But I got the 3-inch ones. I think I ordered 200 of them just to see if they're any good or not, because they were quite a bit cheaper than going through some of that other stuff. And so once I get those, I'll probably send them out for free. I might do like the way Mikey Pipes does, and I don't know if any of y'all have watched his or not, but he does free stickers, and I think he's got like a PayPal or Venmo or something like that where he puts it in his thing. And if people want to donate to the postage fund, basically, because that's actually going to cost me more than the stickers. An envelope and a stamp is going to cost me more than the stickers. But I'll probably send them to people for free just because I don't want to mess with the. But then if people want to donate X amount of dollars into the postage fund to help pay for, because stamps now, I don't even know what they cost, because the last row I bought's like that Freedom row where they're the same price no matter what, even if postage goes up. I don't even know how much a stamp is these days because I don't use them often enough. I've had a roll in the house forever, so I don't even know how much they cost, but it'd probably cost you at least $1 to buy an envelope and a stamp to be able to send it out. So you send out 200 of them, that's $200. That's a Klein Tracer right there. So that's probably how I'm going to do that. I'm supposed to maybe get them this week. I don't know that for sure. So I'm gonna wait and make sure they're good and all that kind of stuff before I even start offering them, because I don't want to get them and then they look like junk or something or other, and then I already have a big long list of people to send them to. Bam's Life said my Lowe's had their Klein dual laser thermometer marked down to $16, part number IR5. My Lowe's is really weird on the clearance stuff. Like there's some stuff they clearance of Kleins that it doesn't make sense to me that they're clearancing it because they're still selling them pretty good. And then there's some stuff that's sitting there forever. And it's the same way I talked about. I think I talked about it in that live review, that the stuff that they put in the boxes that are locked up that they're selling as Kleins, like sometimes it's really cheap stuff and they've got the expensive stuff just sitting out there where anybody can get it. I never know what my Lowe's logic is. Abraham Perez says if Miss Morgan will be putting in work on the channel this weekend on top of a giveaway, I'm telling my boss I can't work this Saturday. Leonard said my toolbox is waiting for a sticker. And Brian said he thinks they're 57 cents for stamps. So I didn't know what they were. Last time I remember buying them personally, but I never paid attention the last time I probably bought a roll of them, how much they were. But I think they were like 32 cents or something the last time I actually remember how much they cost. And that was who knows how long ago. Matt L. said he's got a spot on his laptop for that sticker. Yeah, so they should end up looking like, that right there, I think. I think that's what I ended up sending them as far as the picture that I sent them. So hopefully that's what they're going to look like. And I think I got 3-inch ones. I know I didn't get 2. It might be 2.5, but I think I got 3 because I want to say they had 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 or something like that. And I think I ended up getting. I thought like the 4 or up would be way too big, and I thought the other ones would be too small. So I ended up going with 3. We'll see what they look like though. How well does the extension fit in the 1/4-inch socket in that Klein set with a pass-through screwdriver? How well does the extension fit? Let me see which ones you're talking about. Nope, I don't want to show y'all my pile of stuff here. That's my maybe giveaway stuff yet that I haven't decided on. I'll let y'all get one sneak preview right here. Let me get you swapped around. So the 1/4, let's see. You're talking about the starter set. Talking about this set, the 1/4-inch adapter. Let me read what you said again real fast. What'd I do with my phone? How well does the extension fit in the 1/4-inch socket in that Klein set with the pass-through screwdriver? The pass-through screwdriver is in the big end, so let's see. Oh, I think I know what you're saying now. How well does the extension fit? So you're talking about this. I think this is what you're saying. You can let me know. And then in this, is that what you're talking about? I think that's how they kind of intend for you to use. Because I was saying in that review, it wasn't making sense to me that they gave you this. And what I meant by that is, one is it's pretty long. So by the time I put it in this, it's going to be a really long screwdriver. I'm sure this is how they intend you to use this, but because it's really the only way. And it's not super long, I don't guess. I don't see that it actually is crazy long. But that's going to have by the time you get out that long, it's got a little bit of flex in it. But what I didn't understand is why they get this one. Like, it's got the adjustable length and all that stuff, versus they could have gave you a flip socket or something like that. Been the same difference, I guess, which they're adjustable length too. So they could have gave you, man, I got a million of them. Let's just open this one. You know, one of those, and then you could have had at least a 1/4 inch and 5/16 and, you know, stuck one of those in there. But it's the same thing. It's still that type of shaft, no matter how you look at it. I'm pretty sure that is what you're saying there. Is that what you're talking about, Shane? 1/4 inch deal right there. That's the socket out of there, and that's inside that. So I think that's how they intended for you to use that. That's the piece that didn't make sense to me in that live review video right there. The only other thing I saw, which I'll bring, like I said, I took screenshots of everybody's questions, and Nathan made a good point, and this is something that they should have done, or not Nathan. Well, his name might be Nathan. It's Nacho Is Me. For whatever reason, I read that Nathan sometimes. It would be nice if they made an adapter to use these with, so that you could take them. Of course, you can use them in this ratchet, this screwdriver, and all that, but Klein's not offering a ratcheting screwdriver right now, or not a ratcheting, but a flex head screwdriver, flex head ratchet. I'll get it eventually. So I don't know why they didn't, because like on this 3/8 adapter, what do I do with it? Yeah, here. This 3/8 adapter, you know, you can put that on a 3/8 drive, or down inside there, you can also attach it to these flip sockets and use it in that way. So I could take this 3/8 adapter and also put it on, if I had this 1/4 inch adapter, because it's got that end on it, that flip socket end. I'm doing this one-handed, so I could slide this inside of there and use it like that, and then go back to the 1/4 inch ratchet, and then that lets me use these on that as well if I wanted to, on the big flip sockets. So I could go that route instead of going the route of putting this thing in there. Oh, let me get this out. Oh, make y'all sick. You know, I talked about you can put that out of this 16-in-1 impact because it's got that 3/8 end on it. I could put that in that ratchet and then achieve this same thing as well. But this is another way, again, to go about doing it if you didn't buy the 16-in-1. So there's ways with all these to kind of achieve the same things. It's just sometimes you're going to get into, like, that adds quite a bit of extra length on that right there in comparison to if I just stuck that straight on. It's not crazy amount of extra length, but it's a little bit extra length. So there is a way really to work and make most things happen, even if you don't have all the things. So like if I don't have this 16-in-1, but I've got this set and this set, I can typically find a way to come up with something, but sometimes they get a little bit long like that. But it would have been nice, you know, they made all these, like this one, this 3/8 extension has, you know, you can put it through the pass-through ratchet, or I can put it on any other 3/8 drive. So if I've got a 3/8 drive flex head ratchet or whatever from another brand, and I need a flex head to get into the space, I can use this one, and I can do that. Same thing on this 1/4 inch one. Again, one-handed animal right here. I can still use that in the pass-through ratchets, but I can also put it on a regular 1/4 inch ratchet. And here's what I don't know why Klein didn't do this, because this would have made this super nice, is here's a 3/8 drive that is really small. So let's say I wanted to use, well, actually, it's not going to work. That wasn't what I was thinking. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out, they need to make an adapter that would allow you to basically put these on a flex head ratchet or something like that if you wanted to use them, if you didn't have this set. Because you could do it with this one. You know, if you had this set, you can put this right here on a flex head ratchet and still use all these, but you can't use any of these on another ratchet besides this. Now you can use this right here, but that wasn't what I was actually thinking about telling y'all. Doesn't make sense now what I was thinking. So I was thinking if you had a 3/8 drive on this dude, you could put that on, and then that was what was going to allow you to use these because it was this. But I was thinking about that wrong. That's actually just so that you can use regular sockets in your Klein 3/8 ratchet right there. So if you had another brand of sockets, I had one sitting out here somewhere. Yeah. So here's a Craftsman socket. So I can now use whatever sockets I want to with that ratchet. So if I had this kit, but I also maybe don't want to buy this because I've got a set of deep well sockets that are 3/8, and I don't care about flipping them around and having this set, but I wanted to have some pass-throughs, but I also wanted some deep well of some regular sockets. You know, if you've already got those in metric and SAE, because they don't really sell anything else besides this metric and SAE, I could use my regular socket sets with this kit right here. So I've got the Milwaukee 3/8 impact sockets in my truck all the time that are regular sockets. So as long as I carry this kit with me, if I bought this one, I could use all my sockets on this screwdriver handle. My Milwaukee ones, I could use them on this. I could use them in this. All those things, and then still have a pass-through set as well. So this is a pretty good set right here. I mean, with everything that you're getting in it, again, I still think $99 for this and this is pretty expensive, but it's got some really nice features in it. Let me swap you back around. Like I said, if y'all have got questions like that one, just put them in a comment on one of those videos. Doesn't matter which one, and I'm screenshotting them and putting them in a folder on my computer. And I figured what I'm going to do is I'll do a live one day and come out here and have all these out and just scroll through those questions and then see if I can answer all of them the same way I just did that one. Because there's so many, I made that video the other day where I was just kind of wanting to show how it's all starting to come together, but there's still a million connections, whether you want to put them in your impact, whether you want to put them like different ways that you can combine them. That if I made a video for every single way, for one, I'd get confused. It was already getting confusing for me as it was, but it'd be like a 5-hour long video, I think, of every possibility that you could possibly do. It gets a little bit crazy. There's Nathaniel. I think I'll wait for the metric only set. You were the one that was asking me about the 3/8 and the flex head. So it is Nathaniel, but whenever you make comments, doesn't it show up as like Nacho Is Me or something like that? You're one of those that has two different names versus chat, and some people's chat name and their comment name are two different things. Do you work with all thread a lot, or did you just want to pass through set? I don't work with it near as much as I used to. I just wanted to pass through set because every now and then I run into stuff where it's more so a bolt with a nut and a washer on a floor or something like that, and it makes it easier for me. But you got yourself a set of ratchet wrenches. 9 times out, if you get yourself a set of wrenches like this, it's just as useful most of the time. Occasionally, it's not going to work because you don't have the room to get in there with something like this, but typically if you can get in there with a ratchet and a pass-through socket, you're going to get in here with this. I think the thing about a set like that is that screwdriver handle, because with all thread or something like that, you could throw that screwdriver handle up on something and just sit there and go to town. But a ratchet wrench set to me is pretty good. But again, if you take a metric and SAE ratchet wrench set like that and try to pack that around with you, it's going to take up a lot more room than, this one little box right here. That's a whole lot less room, even though it's a big box, definitely a lot less room. Yeah, Nathaniel said he is Nacho Is Me. I was thinking, because I said Nathaniel at first, and I was like, no, I think it's actually his name is Nacho Is Me, but it's both. That's why I was thinking that. Brian Hall, it's exactly what I was talking about yesterday, using that with the new starter kit. Yeah, I got what you were saying after I got to looking at it, and I probably didn't say it right, or I didn't even mention it in that, because that one piece, that was actually what I commented and said I was wrong I think back when I did a review for this one, I was mentioning that it kind of stunk because they didn't make it to where you could, you know, really use these big ones. But I didn't notice that this 3/8 drive had, you know, that, I won't be able to get it probably zoomed in, but basically it's got the spline. You know, I use that front facing camera. I can't hardly get stuff to focus. It takes the spline for your flip sockets, no matter if you've got the old shafts or the shafts that come in these, that fits inside of there. And of course, that's what allows you to be able to use those big flip sockets in your impact driver. But you could also take this. So just to make the point, if I've got the 11-in-1, you know, impact 11-in-1, and I've got this set, just this set alone, you know, I don't get a screwdriver handle with this. There's no screwdriver handle on this, so it makes you think, well, I got to buy one that's got a screwdriver handle. But if you've got any screwdriver that accepts a 1/4-inch bit, so I could take my impact 11-in-1 if I've already got that and stick this thing in there. And now I've got the same screwdriver effect. And I can take my big flip sockets, stick them in there, and use the impact 11-in-1. Like I said, there's 1,000 ways that you don't have to have all the sets, and you can still use all the pieces in a screwdriver, in a impact, or in that ratchet. But it's just the more of them you buy, the less maybe of this kind of stuff that you're going to have in between the two, and maybe you can shorten the length and not have to have so many pieces or such a long adapter or whatever it might be. The biggest thing with that one set is that right there. You know, you'd have to do something to your other screwdrivers to achieve the pass-through, what they did in that M set, which is pretty nice. Which some people have said they've drilled out their ratcheting screwdriver to use like that. Because see, with this screwdriver, I've got to have all this extra space in here to achieve that, which that's not a big deal because this is smaller than still whatever you're using up here. But if I bought this set, I no longer have to have all this. I can now swap and go with that. But again, it's a bigger handle. It's still all the same. It's just a little bit shorter though than if I did it all on this one right here. So again, you can achieve the same thing with less adapters most of the time. But the more adapters you get, the more compact and the more less bulky, and you know, all those kinds of things. I don't know why they didn't on all these shafts that they put in these connect sets. None of them have magnets on the flip socket shafts, because it seems like to me, even if I was using this, if they've got it set up right, you know, I mean, it's pretty deep down in there, but I don't know why they didn't put magnets on all of them. But you can still use your, like if you've got flip socket shafts that have the magnets on them like that, you can use those in place of these and not even use these if you didn't want to. So got the whole Klein Lego set out over here. That's true. I didn't even think about the weight of those being so different. The weight of, let's see, what were we talking about? Or the weight of the wrenches versus the pass-through set, I guess. That Crescent pass-through set that I bought and made a video for back when I was trying to figure out if there was other alternatives. And the whole reason why I bought that set was because the Klein Connect set, the first 3/8 one that came out, really made me think I need to get myself a pass-through ratchet set, because I never had any. I always use my ratchet wrenches or, you know, whatever. And I thought I could see the purpose behind having a set of those for certain situations that I've run into, but I didn't want to pay the $70 for that Klein 3/8 set because it was only SAE, and I just thought, I was like, man, that's way too expensive. I didn't even want to buy the 1/4 inch set either because it was only SAE, and I was like, I don't want to buy because it only works with that Klein stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna need metric stuff, so I don't even want to buy a set that is just SAE. But I went ahead and bought the 1/4 inch set after I bought the ratcheting screwdriver because I got it on sale. I don't remember if I got it. Oh, I bought it with to get my Klein clock, which I got down over there. I don't have it back there, but I bought it in that because it was on sale or something like that. So I went ahead and got it, the 1/4 inch set, because I'm like, well, I'll end up using that because I use 1/4 inch stuff a whole lot more than I use 3/8. But I still felt like the 1/4 inch set with all SAE for $50. I was like, that's too expensive for that too. I wouldn't have bought either of them first two sets, but these two sets, I don't like the price of them. I like the starter kit set. $39 isn't bad for that set. But I guarantee you they're probably going to come out with one that's SAE and metric too. I mean, I can't imagine they're not going to. So after you buy this one, they're going to come out with another one that's SAE and metric. So, but that one's still a good one to get the screwdriver handle in it. Again, if you haven't bought the ratcheting screwdriver and you don't care about ratcheting screwdrivers and you haven't bought that other set, it's a pretty good deal. $40 for that one's not bad. The 99 for the 3/8, not bad because it's SAE and metric and you're getting the pass-through screwdriver handle and a ratchet. You know, you're getting a lot of tools in there with it too. But still, $99 is a lot of money for a pass-through socket set whenever you can buy that crescent one for like $30. But it's not in a set like that. And all you're getting is a ratchet. You're not getting a screwdriver handle. You know, those kinds of things. Let's see. BBQ Man. Where are you located? Oh, here's BBQ Man. He said, tried 2 Lowe's locations. They don't have these kits yet. Yeah, it's all going to depend on if your employees have put them out. You know, that's bottom line. Like I said, I'm really shocked that mine have because most of the time, whenever stuff hits Lowe's and it's new, like I don't even go to my Lowe's for like a month, and I just get online and order it and ship it to my house because they never put it out. Like I can, even if my store says they got 60 of them, I can guarantee you that they're all up on a shelf somewhere and whatever. And this is even when they're supposed to be selling them. Like you can do pick up at store or do whatever, but see, it's not letting you do any of that right now. It's like because they're not supposed to be selling them, they're not letting you ship them to your house or not letting you pick it up in the store. Basically, the only way you're going to get them is if the Lowe's employees have already got them out of the box. And like I said, one guy commented, and I still didn't look up the name to see who it was, but he said he talked to a Lowe's employee, and when they got the box down for him, he said the Lowe's guy told him, this says it's not supposed to be out on the floor until 10/21 is what they told him. So that wasn't somebody telling me that, that's somebody telling somebody else that, but that's the most information I've got anyways, is 10/21 should be, even if your Lowe's haven't put them out yet, you should be able to get online, I would think, at that point and order them and do pick up at store or ship them to your house or whatever else. And then again, maybe by then they're going to be on Amazon or House of Tools or wherever as well. Tools and Tactics, what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone in Florida is okay. Yeah, so far everybody that I know, like Ted McDonald and Mac is on here. Lockhammer is the only one who I haven't seen get on and comment yet. Have been saying that they've been doing okay. My mom was okay. I talked to her this morning. So Sumo said he got both yesterday at his Lowe's. Yeah, I was just telling everybody Tools and Tactics, which I told Woodchuck. Let's see. Is it Woodchuck or Wood Guy? Yeah, Woodchuck. I told him to go check out your video on I got it stuck in here, the Klein ET450 about the ground and all that stuff, because it makes a big difference. So I told him to go check out your video on that. He said he wouldn't subscribe to you, so I told him, you're the reason why I ended up buying this. I've been on the fence about it for a while, but I watched your video and I'm like, yep, got to get it. And then Matt HMM sent me a deal where it was on sale for $191. So I ended up buying it. So I've got that. I haven't got it out yet and tried it, but did pick it up. Even Newman is doing fine. Last I checked, he's a firefighter in Florida. Yeah, he's another one that's a Florida person. We have quite a few people from Florida that, you know, are in these chats and comment on the videos and stuff like that. So, I think the thing that I saw the most, and again, I haven't watched the news. I just got on Google this morning and typed in Hurricane Milton to find out like if it hit a certain area worse. Because I talked to my mom last night before I went to bed, and I woke up really early, but I didn't want to call her even though I was worried about her because I was afraid she'd be asleep or whatever, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And plus, it wasn't really kind of done. And so I talked to her this morning pretty early. But whenever I got up early, I was just looking around seeing what all it had done. And the only thing major that they were talking about was the roof of the baseball stadium. And then they were talking to like the tornadoes that hit before the hurricane or during or whatever was actually what caused a lot of the damage and some deaths or something or other, more so than the hurricane did. But again, that's just me saying it, me reading on Google. I have no idea. So that thing is so good. I was talking to some other electricians the other day during an inspection, and they all use it. It's pro grade, amazing value. Yeah, if you compare it to like I'm sure maybe the Ideal ones are better. I don't know if they are or not based on the price. Again, I didn't even look into those because I don't need one enough to spend that kind of money on one. But I like the fact that you can use live and dead circuits because like I was telling them earlier, I always use that Klein circuit breaker finder on live circuits because I've got all the adapters just to hook it onto wires or whatever if I need to, and it works fairly well. It's been pretty accurate. You'll get some stuff every now and then that's not right, but you go somewhere and they don't have power and you're trying to figure out why they don't have power, you can't use that. It doesn't help you. So I've always used my toner and stuff to do that, but it's nowhere near it gives you the information like what this one does. So I've been wanting it for quite some time. ET450 makes me money for sure. Tracing wires in backyards or barns. Ideal is great. I've used it. This is better than the Ideal Sure Trace from 10 years ago, and the Ideal was amazing at 1/8 of the price. How did your sheetrock sanding go? Did you look like a ghost afterward, or low dust, mud, and vacuum? I usually am not that bad, which I do. My process is first coat is always 20-minute mud and mesh tape on factory seams, and then I do that fiber fuse on the butt joints and stuff, which I usually hang in such a way that I don't have very many butt joints. I do vertical. If I've done the framing, I usually do vertical drywall, which is actually how you're supposed to do it. And you wouldn't think that based on how everybody does it. With your wall stronger, the more studs you hit into, but at the same time, all your seams only have a screw every 16 inches on center if you do it that way, versus a factory seam. If you stand up the board, if you actually go to drywall websites and stuff and read, vertical is how you're supposed to hang it. You can put screws galore in your seams in that way. So if I can do vertical, I do vertical anyways, but that's only if I framed it, because if someone else has framed it, I've never went in someplace where the stuff will actually break 16s on centers exactly in the center of a stud or whatever else. It's always a mess. So you really just can't do it. There's no way most people could go and hang drywall vertical behind a set of framers who don't hang drywall. But again, I'm a one-man show, so I do from start to finish. So whenever I'm framing with the mindset of I'm going to hang drywall on this. So I spend so much time make sure my stuff is like dead where it needs to be. But I always do 20-minute hot mud, mesh tape, factory joints, and then I do that fiber fuse stuff. I really like that on the butt joints or anything if I've got those. And then I use the corner tape. I use that level line or the no coat for the inside corners. Big difference to me of that. And I used to just do paper tape, but night and day difference, especially when you get into sanding, because you don't have to be as careful because that stuff is paintable, and it actually, like, you can even sand, makes it to where you can really do both sides too as far as when you're mudding. But I do 20-minute mud at least on the first coat. Most of the time I do it on my second coat too, and then my third coat I use that what's it called? I've got it up here, dust. Let me see what the name of it is real fast. That's what I use for my buckets. Actually, this one's empty, so I'll bring it to you. That right there, which this is what I put my hot mud in. The dust control stuff, night and day. Like you sand this stuff, it falls straight down. I mean, you're still going to get some on you. It's still sanding drywall. I don't care who you are, you're going to get it on you. But 90% of it at least falls straight down, and it's maybe less so of getting on you as it is. It just doesn't go like everywhere. Like, so if you're working in a space that's remotely occupied, or you're only working in one area and you don't want to have to spend half a day cleaning the whole rest of the place, that's the way to go. A little bit more expensive stuff, but it's really good. It sands good. I like it, so it's not too bad. I think I was there for maybe 4 hours, and I got it all sanded out. It was three rooms, but one of the rooms was like 2 rooms, so it's like 4 rooms worth of. And then I had 4 windows that were drywall returns, wrapped and stuff on the inside. Those always take a little bit more time to get the corners and everything. Tools and Tactics said, have you tried the flex vac? No, I haven't even tried any flex tools, period. I haven't seen anybody on a job site that has them. Like, I've seen y'all's videos. I've seen the Perkins brothers. I watch all their stuff. I just like their stuff, and they use them all the time. They seem like they like them pretty good, but nobody in my area has even been buying them. Like, I haven't seen a single person have flex tools on a job site since they've came out. And it's like y'all said, they kind of messed up on that, because they should have just been going out to job sites and giving them to people instead of doing some of the stuff they did for marketing. Because, like y'all said in one of your lives, I think it was, that, typically we're animals of, we see people using something and we ask what it is, and then especially if we see it performing well, and then that's when we go buy it. I remember my very first impact was the DeWalt 18-volt NCAD. I kept watching HDTV and different things like that, and I'd see all these people using them on TV. I had never bought an impact. I'd always just use drills. And I kept seeing people using them, and I was like, man, those seem like they'd be pretty good. And then I went to one job site, and those guys were using DeWalt 18-volt impacts, and they were sitting there using them. I said, do you care if I just put in a screw with one of those, just so I can kind of see? I've just been curious about them, never had to use one before. I put in one screw. I left right then. I went to Lowe's and bought myself 2 of those impacts that very day. But it's like, that's how it works, though. I mean, we're that kind of people that whenever we see tools in action and we see people using them around us and stuff, that's when we ask about them. Because back then, whenever that was going on, other than seeing stuff on HGTV or something, I wasn't watching YouTube. There wasn't that much YouTube stuff out there of watching people test tools or do anything like that. So that's the only way that you got to see tools in action, was on job sites. So if it wasn't out there, you didn't see it. It clears a 3-inch port from an electric planer cleaning cedar pickets. I saw my little red light on my battery come on. So if for some reason my phone dies, y'all have a great rest of your day. But I'll stay on here and see if it dies here in a minute. But just in case it dies and it just point blank goes away. Let's see. Shane said the boys and wife got dinner ready, so I'll talk to you guys later. See you, buddy. Sumo said, just a heads up, on my 65-400 kit, they put 2 3/4 sockets instead of the 11/16 and 3/4 sockets. I've already sent Klein an email. Let's see. No, I got an 11/16 and 3/4. I haven't checked the rest of them, though. There's somebody out there that's got 2 11/16 and only 1 3/4. And until you find them, you're out of luck, Sumo. I like perfect straight road corner bead for drywall ins and outs. Outside corners, I only use I don't use the metal. I don't like it. I just use the paper face, like with the metal insert on the inside. And it's because in commercial, we change them out. Like, I could see if you're doing it in your house or doing whatever, but people bang them things up like crazy. And in order, I can beat off a mud-on corner bead and replace it, simple, versus you get that metal stuff and somebody's dented it in real bad, and then you got to try to get all the screws out of it if somebody screwed it up and all that kind of stuff if they didn't use the tool where it dimples in. I pretty much use the no coat's okay. it's more expensive. It's just basically the same thing as what I use, but it's bigger. This right here is, for the most part, what I use. And this has, you can use this inside and outside. I only use it on inside corners though, but it's got like a, this is hard right here, and then you just fold it in. And it's got, but all this is like sandable, paintable. So you don't even have to get all the way into the edge of your corner with drywall mud. So then that keeps you from having to do the one side, let it dry, one side, let it dry. I just do both sides and then leave a little bit before I get there. And as you sand that, it smooths out and you can't tell any difference between it and drywall mud being on there. But I just like the way that works. It's really good. I've never had a single bit of it fail yet, you know, that I know of anyways. Oh, I stick it in the same place every time, and for whatever reason, I never remember. First time being able to sign on during a live, Brad said. Good to see you, buddy. Don't let the phone die while live. The live won't end for a while. Oh, well, that's good to know. I just so happened to see it came up where my camera is, a little red line, and I can't plug in a charger to charge it. I need to get like a, maybe they got like a adapter where you can plug two things in at once, because I got my microphone plugged into my charge port, so I don't know if, which actually that new microphone I've got, let's see, I don't know where it might be in my truck. I don't know what I even did with that. I bought a cheap set with two microphones, so that when my wife's out here, which I need to find that before Saturday, I think it's got a port on the other side of it where you can plug the microphone in and then also plug in the charger or something if you wanted to too. Perfect Straight has a plastic fiberglass stiffness. Let's see, does those Klein Pass Through sockets work on the Milwaukee inside ratchet? I don't have that, so I don't know. I wouldn't think so though. My guess is going to be no. If the Milwaukee inside ratchet, basically the pass through sockets, the 3/8, that type M is 5/8 12 point. So it will fit, like if I get out a 5/8 ratchet wrench, let's see. Am I getting the right drawer? See if I got a 5/8. Yeah. So 5/8 wrench, type M. It fits in there. That's what it is. So, and then the type S, which is your 1/4 inch stuff, is 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch wrench. So type S fits inside there. So if you get into your Milwaukee Insider and you get you a 1/2 inch bolt or 5/8, see if it goes inside of whatever that is. If that's the case, if it's 5/8, the 3/8 stuff would work, and if it's 1/2 inch, then the 1/4 inch stuff would work. But I don't have that. I know what you're talking about. I don't have that tool, so I don't know. I can't try it. Ghost, yeah, my square just fell down, which I just remembered. I got to take I hadn't put my Klein clock back up. I take that down sometimes when I film videos, because whenever I'm filming a video like this, every now and then all you can see is that shadow right there, and I don't like the look of it, so I take it down whenever I'm filming like a workbench thing. But I forgot to put it back up there. Oh, the Bluetooth will kill the battery quicker. Yeah, I have noticed whenever I do lives, like the other day in my truck, and I was only on there for like 20 or 30 minutes, and my battery on my phone like lasts for sure all day. And it was already down, like, and I had just got it off the charger because I just drove into town that morning. I charged it at night. It was already down to like 60-something%. So it pretty much wipes them out. I have a Vessel Tang through flathead on order. Looking forward to making it my daily driver for a flathead. That's the 2 screwdrivers I use the most, is as my dedicated screwdrivers. Now, again, I use the 11-in-1s or whatever. I put them in bags to save space. But as far as in my pouch, I keep 3 screwdrivers in my pouch. The Vessel Phillips, the Vessel slotted, and then the Vessel electric. And every now and then I'll just go ahead and Sometimes I'll take out both my dedicateds and just run both electric ones, and I put a Phillips and slot it in those. But those are my pouch screwdrivers. That's the ones I use all the time. Tools and Tactics said cool clock. Yeah, I got that at House of Tools. I had to buy so much money, but I got it for free. If you spent so much money on Klein, I think that's whenever I bought, because like I was saying earlier, I felt like this 1/4-inch set, the original and the 3/8, I wouldn't have bought the 3/8 because I felt like it was too much money. I felt like this one was too much money. But I needed X amount of dollars to spend to get that for free, and that's why I bought that one. Whenever I ended up buying that. Are there any magnetic ratchet wrenches? Not that I know of, but somebody else might know that there is. Solid forearms. I never used a ball grip driver. I love them. I really do. It's been and I get why some people probably don't like them, because it's totally different. Like if you've been using a Klein handle, which is what I've been using most of my life, has been this handle right here. I mean, because I bought Klein screwdrivers. That's pretty much it until I started getting into just seeing other stuff. And whenever you could order stuff online, because I used to just always go to the electrical supply house, or I'd go to Lowe's or Home Depot. That's where I bought my tools, and this was the best that there was in my opinion, so that's what I bought all the time. And I still like them. I mean, I like Klein handles, but I'm used to using them. Same thing with Wera. I get why, I like them, but they fit my hand really well. Like it's exactly the size of my hand. I get why some people wouldn't like it if your hand was small or really big, because it's kind of a unique handle shape, and if it doesn't fit your hand, it's going to be weird. But then you get into the ball handles, I just like it because I typically will put it in my hand like that and, use my fingers on these, or you can really grab that and really crank onto it. Boy, look at them forearms right there. See that? That's what it'll do to your forearms too. Turn you into a man. But I like them. I really like them. Pretty much that's all I use in my pouch is vessel screwdrivers. Shane says he's always been a Klein guy. They make magnetic spinners that does what you want, but not really strong magnets. OEM tool and auto parts store brands have them. I palm my screwdriver myself. That's why ball handles work so well. Yeah, because even whenever I'm using a Klein, I still will work it like this a lot of times. So I'm like you. So this way, I don't use mine like this much, and if I do, I'm still doing kind of this. It's just how I use my screwdriver. So the ball handle is more comfortable for me than what these are. I'm thinking the 3/8 adapter from the 65-400 kit is used to go with the 33805 kit to access the sockets. 3/8 adapter. Talking about this adapter. Yeah, there is a, I don't know if that's the number you're talking about. I'm not real up on the numbers yet, and still hard for me to even remember what these are. I think there was a set that had just regular sockets that weren't passed through, that came with a screwdriver handle or something like that too. Maybe that's the number, the one you're talking about. I don't have that one. I think I know which one you're talking about though. It come with I think it had a screwdriver, and then also it had like a set of some sockets, all SAE, I think. Are you going to set up a dedicated Klein Connect drawer in your shop or truck? That top drawer of mine, so hopefully I wish I could see how much power I've got left on here. I don't want to end up dying. Let me go. I'll show you. This drawer in here is where I'm kind of putting them. Now Tactics has got me worried that I'm going to end up being on a really long live stream until I get in. So let me go ahead and see. So that's my power tool drawer. Of course, y'all probably see my loadout. So this drawer right here is my, parts drawer. That's moved on me. So I've got them in there on my workbench right now because I was making videos or whatever. So I'm probably going to, I don't use this box as much as what I used to. I really need to just move some, because I've got like you know, different drill bits and stuff in my Milwaukee cases. But I've been putting the big set right there, the metric, and the, before I got those new sets, that bigger box fits right here, but I can stack 2 of them and they still fit. So I'll probably put that 3/8 pass through, that 65-400 kit, and that metric kit here. And then the 1/4 inch starter kit set, I can probably fit in here on top of this too, because I've got plenty of room. Because now I'll probably, the 1/4 inch set that I already have, I'll probably just leave that in my garage, because there's no sense in me having, you know, I don't need both of those. I don't think it'll let me, I don't know how to get off this screen to look at my battery power. I don't know of a way to do it without probably killing y'all. So you let me know, Tools and Tactics, what the deal is with the doing the stream the other way, since you're in here, if you're still in here. You said something about in yours that y'all get a lot more. So is there like a live shorts? Is that if you film it the other way, does it put you like in a different stream than the live, than like this kind of a live? And is, because y'all, I know that you said something about the views is more or not. I've never streamed that way, so I didn't know. And then also, I'm assuming that's just like the live review for that 3/8 set. You know, I figure if I made a video, it would have probably got more views. I don't think the lives get pushed as much as a video, because then I think they only come up like in live recommendations and stuff on my TV. I'm sure it does it on the phone and stuff like that too. So, because it didn't get nowhere near the views like what I thought it might would, but it might be because it was a live. Let's see. Off topic, but Brian said, but the new Knipex 6 and 10 inch 10 grips are on Amazon, but out of stock. I'm going to look that up. I'm glad you told me that, buddy. I'm going to put them in my wish list. I'm going to get the 6. I know I'm going to get the 6 inch ones too, but I might end up getting both sets. Both sets. We'll see. HVAC style screwdriver is what comes with that. Yeah, I seen that set. I'm searching Connect sets on Amazon just to see if for some. I'm checking every day just to see if they put these out on there, just so I can let you guys know I've been wanting to get them. You can log into Studio and go into the control room to manage it, worst come to worst. What speaker do you use while working? I use the M12 radio. It's a smaller one. It was in the other side of my truck, not that side. I keep it in the other side. But it's the, I guess it's the newest M12 radio. I don't know if there's one before that one or not, but it's the newest one. But I've always told people I can't just jam, because I'm usually working in occupied areas, or at least adjacent to an occupied area, so I can't just turn up volume to 10, you know, and go to town on it. So that one's plenty loud for me. It takes up a little room in my truck, so that's the one that works out best for me. TPG's called to dinner, be well. They aren't on Acme Tools yet, Brian said as well. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here too before my battery dies. We end up getting in bad shape. I'm going to go in here and probably get something to eat too. He uses that speaker and blasts Macho Man theme song while walking around with his chest puffed out and his hands on his hips, flaring at his lats. I just walk around like this all day. Let me coat that drywall mud, and I start doing that. Boy, look at them arms. That's how I drywall mud too. I grab my thing like this and sit there and go like this, real slow. Let them all see those guns. Peace, everyone. Wings and Pizza said. Matt said there is an older M12 radio, but it's really old. You'll see it. It's huge. I figured they probably had one. Like, I've got the Bosch 12-volt radio, because I used to have Bosch 12-volt tools before I got into Milwaukee. And a lot of their tools were exactly the same, like the Sawzall and all that stuff were identical. The battery's just reversed on the polarity on it. But I figured they probably had one that looked like my Bosch one, but I never have seen one. But I wasn't in M12, so I wasn't really looking for one either. So, got 4 more hours of work to do, Matt said. Well, I appreciate y'all being in here. Again, the gifts at the beginning, if you use the Sashco stuff, you know, make sure you go. I put a link in the description. Make sure you go check that out. That's like $100 worth of, you know, free stuff. Lots of free exact color match, big stretch Lexel. Go to the description, follow that link. I got that off Perkins Builders Brothers. I was watching one of their videos, they had it in their description. And then the Malco, if you have bought anything Malco and you register it, they send you a tumbler if you fill out. I put a link for that in the description too. It was K1W3 that told me about that. And like I said, I bought the flip socket thing. That's what I registered, but they didn't ask me for a receipt or anything. So I don't know what would keep somebody from just saying, I bought this tool, send me a tumbler. Appreciate it, Brian Hall, sending me out the bits there. I didn't win anything from Jersey Discount Tool Company, but I got 2 pairs of safety glasses that I'll never wear, but I've got those. And then I also appreciate it, Steve's Wood Shop and Tool Review, sending me that Weehaw driver. I like the fact that I get to at least feel a Weehaw screwdriver handle in my hand now. I never did have a regular size one. So let's see. Brian said he did get the Sashco off Arnold Building. So yeah, if you haven't used Big Stretch and Lexel, they are both really, really good. I mean, I like them both. I've been using Big Stretch for probably at least a year or so now, and I've had really good success with it. So, but appreciate y'all all being on here. It's a good chat. And again, don't forget Saturday doing a giveaway for the Rovi Vaughn E8. If you haven't got in, go to that video and comment the hashtag on that one. See ya, Tools and Tactics. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Make sure you go comment on that, and then I might be giving away some other stuff Saturday, so you might want to make sure you're there for in person, in live, but you might need to know some stuff, so you might want to brush up on your Morgan's maintenance info. So, but we'll see y'all on the next one.